What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. So, guys, here in Black America, we have names for our underserved, criminal, and less successful population. We kindly refer to them as the Pookie and Ray Ray class. Now often are these men in criminal activities. They don't have to be criminals, but they are less successful. Sometimes they're rappers, okay? But we look at them as men who do not satisfy their responsibilities. They don't add anything positive to the Black community. They don't add anything positive to any community. And they are a destructive force to anybody they come across, especially the women. Now, here's something that typical Pookies have over guys who are not Pookies. This is not always true, but this is something that I have found. These are guys, in my honest opinion, that have a social advantage in life, meaning that instead of spending their time doing things that increase their skill set or their economic well-being, they spend their time in social currency gaining activities, meaning that they're typically more charismatic. They are funny. They dress better. They may not necessarily look better, but they have more of a pseudo-masculine personality. And this is what gains them more attraction from the women in our community than the other men who are more likely to be stand up, more righteous, more hardworking, more successful, and guys who are willing to take the longer path to gain success or to gain value in our society. Now, what happens is that the other guys who are what we would call the good Black men of society try to talk to these ladies, and these ladies don't have to be Pookieshas themselves, right? They can be college graduates and things like that, but they tend to fall for those guys who don't do very well, right? And what happens is when these women fall for these guys, there typically is a fallout, right? And I'm gonna get to a story, but I want to define. Shout out to my brother, basically Black Jesus on TikTok. Make sure you follow him. Tell him that brother O'Shea sent you. I want to do a collab with our brother. He is going to define who a Pookie and a Ray Ray is.
All right, let's talk about it. What is a Pookie? We use this term a lot, so we should define it. A Pookie is a man who is an irresponsible man. He does not parent or provide for his children. Typically, his children are outside of wedlock. Normally, this guy will have multiple children with multiple women, but he only needs one to be a Pookie. Now, ladies, you cannot force a guy to be a Pookie by parentally alienating him. If you are doing that, then you are a monster. That's what you are. Now, also, Pookie has a brother called Ray Ray, and these guys normally are birds of a feather flock together. That's why we say Pookie and Ray Ray. And here's a tidbit for you ladies. If you have a baby by a Pookie, you are a Pookiesha, because guess what? You are what you attract. And that's the part y'all don't like, is that accountability piece that, hey, why did I give a child to an irresponsible man? But that goes right along with these guys. So I hope that helps you all out.
So with his definition, we know where we are at now. Let's fly all the way to Detroit. We have a young sister, Shantonia Williamson. That's definitely an African-American first name. No doubt about it. She's not Caribbean and she's not African. That is somebody from our community. She is currently pregnant. But something has happened here. Her baby's father also has another lady pregnant. So what happened is they got into an altercation. Now, I'm not sure if this pregnant woman is pregnant by the baby father, but she says that she is. So instead of taking the animosity towards him, what does she do? Gunshots, please? she shoots the other lady during an altercation. Okay. And now her bond is at $750,000. All right. Now, I just kind of want to talk about this. This is very important for me, as it should be important to you. Why on earth, and this is the question that many black men are asking, why on earth would you deal with a man such that you would shoot him or shoot her over the fact that he has somebody else pregnant when he has the free will not to deal with her? But it's always somebody else's fault. And if you can look at her, she has a tattoo on her neck. I don't know if that's a heart or something like that. So I don't know if she's involved in street activity. But typically what I see happening is that women, a lot of times in our community, never want to take a lot of ownership for the kind of, men that they're dealing with. And if you can remember what Brother Black Jesus said, he made a astounding point. The women who deal with Pookies and Ray Rays are affectionately now being called Pookishas. Now, I didn't make the term up. You've seen me put the term in some of my titles. So Pookisha is dealing with Pookies and Ray Rays. And if you ever listen to their conversations about, this particular Pookie and Ray Ray they're dealing with, they try to blame all of the issues on Mr. Pookie, while at the same time trying to absolve themselves from any relationships with Mr. Pookie. And they think that somebody actually is stupid enough to actually believe that. That's what they believe. They believe they can come around, talk about this baby daddy that they have, and, pretty much take away from, the obvious reason that what you're doing is being very obtrusive. That's what it is. Like we can't see that. Like it's not protuberant. We know that it's protuberant. We can just see, because it doesn't make any sense. How can you be involved with this guy but absolve yourself? And then have the nerve to come out and say, you know what? We're looking for a new man because the last guys we're dealing with are my favorite. We need to go over to the white man and all of these things. And let me just say this, Detroit is a Democratic city. And I want to put the ownership on black Democrats. Most black Democratic cities have all of these problems. There is a high rate of crime, which coincides with a higher rate of low economic activity, which coincides with a high level of single motherhood-led births. The problem is in most black cities and Democratic cities, there's no incentive to fix that, because nobody's ever going to tell black people in black America, hey, that you need to stop having these babies by these guys or these women that can't take care of them. Everything is blamed on white policies. But black people have been running Democratic cities for a long time. I mean, just there in Detroit, how many mayors have we had? Kwame Kilpatrick, right? It's how many can we talk about there? My favorite of all time, I know you guys are gonna you're gonna laugh at this, but the Mr. Coleman Young, the light-skinned dictator out of Alabama, who was in Detroit, who was probably the biggest Democratic mayor failure in the history of black America. And this guy kept getting reelected. Terrible. Dave Bing? Anybody? Well, I don't know how bad he was, but Kwame Kilpatrick, Dennis Archer. What did those guys do? It's been years, ever since it's been under black Democratic rule, Detroit has suffered. And these policies have suffered. And Pookishas and Pookies and Ray Rays just kept it going. And then the crime went up. Women are being shot by other women, being shot by men, women shooting women, men shooting women. Everybody's getting shot. Whose fault is this? These are Democratic policies. Are the policies that should be helping these people are not being enforced. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.